What's up everybody, it's July 15th, 2016 and it's time for today's episode of Level Up, our daily video game news show where we bring you all the latest and greatest stories from within the video game industry. And we're kicking off today with some fantastic news coming out of Nintendo. They have announced that they are going to be relaunching the NES. Yes, the classic console from the Japanese company is making a return in a mini version that you can see right here, and it's going to include 30 games. It's going to cost around £50, and just to clarify, it's a fixed console. It's not going to be able to play any of your old games. It's kind of basically just a box with games. We see like handheld versions of them in the past, but it's going to be designed looking like a NES. It's going to have over 30 games on it, including all of your classics like your Castlevania 2, Donkey Kong, Final Fantasy, Mario Brothers, Mega Man, Super Mario Brothers 1, 2 and 3, Legend of Zelda, Pac-Man and Zelda 2. So plenty of good classics on there. You'll also get a classic NES controller to play with it as well, and it's coming out later on this year. November 11th is the release date for it. I can't wait. I am 100% going to be getting one of these. I never had a NES growing up. I have played a few of these games obviously since then through various emulators or handhelds or whatever it may be, but I never owned a NES, and this is a really cool thing that they're doing. And at that price, if you're into video games at all and you care about the heritage or history, you should definitely pick this up and check out some of these classic games that will be coming. November 11th, perfect present for Christmas. Moving on, and some slightly more concerning news is that Sony has now announced that their PlayStation VR headset, don't worry, it is still coming out this year, but we were previously led to believe that all games would be able to be used or played using a DualShock 4 controller. Apparently that's now not the case. They have gone back on that statement and said that most games will use a DualShock 4, but some of them will not. An example of one was the Job Simulator game. That definitely does require the Move controllers, and you will not be able to use a DualShock 4. So this is a little bit worrying, this is again more bad messaging from the company. Don't come out and say something if it's not true. I was one of the first adopters. I kind of jumped onto it as soon as the pre-orders were available, and this was just the base headset. So I bought the base headset. I've then gone out since and bought a camera. Now you're telling me I'm going to have to go out and buy the Move controllers as well. It's just a little bit disappointing. I was hoping, it's got the Move function in the front of the DualShock 4, so I don't know why we couldn't just use that. But hopefully it's just for the games like your Job Simulators. The bigger games they have confirmed, like Riggs, Resident Evil 7, you will be able to use your DualShock 4 with those. And do remember as well, on a brighter side, every PlayStation 4 game can be played in VR. Obviously it won't be a VR experience, but it'll be the equivalent of you being in like a VR space in front of a giant screen and playing those games. So that's the feature I'm probably most excited about, but it's just disappointing that I might have to go out and buy more controllers to play certain games. We'll see obviously exactly what games as they come out. Hopefully they're those people that don't want to use those crappy Move controllers and want to keep using the DualShock 4 will be able to. Now, Kojima has been speaking recently to GameSpot about his Death Stranding game, which we saw at E3 this year. Obviously, we don't really know too much about it right now. That reveal was very, very early on. But he's been talking more generically about the future of video games. And one thing he said that I think is interesting but also a little bit worrying is that he likes the idea of these episodic games, and he actually thinks that could be where the industry will be heading in the future. Now, obviously, we've seen a lot of it coming out, especially in Japan. Obviously, we've seen Final Fantasy 7 has gone episodic, and we've seen from Square Enix as well. They made Hitman episodic, and we've seen some Resident Evil episodic games as well. Telltale, obviously, are famous for them, and I just don't know. He thinks that this is where it's going to go. Big, huge, long games are going to be things of the past, similar to obviously how we have a lot of TV shows and stuff. But for me, whenever there's an episodic game, I want to wait till the end, because if I'm really in, the worst thing you can have is if you really enjoy an episode and leave it on a cliffhanger, you don't have to wait 3 months until you can play a game again. Now, episodic could be cool if they released them much, much quicker, like maybe every week, every 2 weeks, like a TV show. A TV show is weekly, so that's fine. But I'm not in favour of all of these games going episodic, because you like to have the full, complete package. It'll be interesting. Obviously, Kojima knows a lot more about the industry than I do. If he thinks that's the way it could be going, then there may be some truth behind that. Like I said, we have already seen it. So let us know down below what you think about this, whether or not you're a fan of the episodics. Yes, it's good that it gives you kind of just the opportunity to play for smaller periods of time and you don't have this daunting 200-hour game in front of you. But some people like that, so let us know down below what you think. I myself am not a fan. Moving on, we've got some good news for fans of Star Wars Battlefront. Yes, the EA multiplayer Star Wars game is now going offline. It will be available for single player. They're bringing in this offline mode. It's coming next week. So before, you've always had to be on the servers. This offline mode is going to be called Skirmish, and it will be available on July 20th, so just in a few days' time. And apparently it will offer the players the option to play offline against bots in a solo mission, or also, even better, cooperatively with your friend on split screen. So that's really cool that they're bringing this feature there. A lot of people like offline play, maybe if you don't have great internet, or if you just like to play couch co-op with your friends. That's really cool. Really good to see that they're still supporting that game after, when did it come out now? October, November, so good few months into it. And in addition to that, they have also announced that the Death Star expansion is still coming. It will be available to season pass holders in September. And as with most of these expansions, it's going to introduce new ground and space maps, weapons, cards, heroes, characters, all that normal stuff that we see in the expansion. So if you did pick up the season pass, you do still have more expansion stuff coming for you in a couple of months' time. And the final news item of the day, going from one galactic game to another, No Man's Sky. We know that it is coming in just a few weeks' time now, early August. We know that it has gone gold. Sean Murray made the announcement on Twitter. And now we've seen a new trailer which is giving us a little bit more insight into the game as we get closer to the release. The marketing, Ash touched on it on our Game of the Week show last week, that the marketing will start to pick up on this game. And this is the first of a series of videos they're going to be releasing. This one is called Guides to the Universe, and we see some of the many planets that are in this game. 18 quintillion planets apparently is supposed to be the total. So obviously you're seeing some of them here. You're not going to be able to visit them all, but it just offers a little glimpse into the variety of different planets that this game is going to give us. Really excited to jump into this game next month when it comes out. I'm sure a lot of you out there are as well. Obviously, if you want to go in as blind as possible, I'd recommend not watching this entire series of videos, but I will be bringing in a couple of future videos over in the coming weeks called Flight, Trade and Survive. So there's kind of like a little bit of a series there showing you effectively the fundamentals of No Man's Sky. So there we go, that's it for today. I hope you have enjoyed today's news. Let us know down below. Are you excited for the new mini NES? I'm sure you are, because it looks awesome. What do you think about Episodic Games from Kojima? Are you still playing Battlefront? Let us know all of that stuff. Are you picking up VR as well? Do you like the Move controllers? Let me know. Honestly, I've never used them before, but they just look incredibly gimmicky, and I've never really heard anything great about them. But do let me know. I would be interested to hear what you think. But yes, thank you very much for watching, everyone, and I will see you all next time.